Okay, today I'm gonna rank every single pop flavor known to man. And how I'm gonna do this is we're gonna start at the top, being S tier, meaning you can't get any better than it, and go all the way down down to F, which is you might as well just not even drink anything at all and die of thirst. So how we're gonna start this is I'm gonna start at, and we're just gonna go all the way through. These are all the pops that I know of. I'm gonna give you my opinion on them. And I specifically am justified to create this list because ever since I was a baby, I've had a pop in my hand. My parents would always try to keep prying them out of my hands, but it just wouldn't happen. I am like a bloodhound for pop. My mother would run around the house trying to hide them, and without fail, every single time I found the stash. She couldn't stop me. And it was so bad that my parents were certain that at some point when I was 21 and able to drink, they said, never let that kid touch alcohol because he would have a problem and probably have several DUIs. But here I am today, still drinking pop. On how to rank each and every pop known to man. So here we start with Sunkist. Sunkist isn't the best pop, nor is it the best orange soda. It's honestly, it's almost like if you just like squeezed an orange and dumped the juice into some carbonated water. It's like it's not that good, but it's also like it's not bad. So Sunkist, that gets a D tier. We got Pepsi. This is one of the most popular colas, and I'm gonna say, you know what? I really enjoy Pepsi, as do a lot of people. Whenever I'm out and about, everybody always says, "Yeah, I'll take a Pepsi," or "Do you got a Pepsi?" So I'm gonna say, you know what? Pepsi. That goes A tier. And now we're already going on to the Coca-Cola. We're already starting with the Pepsi versus Coca-Cola. Okay. Now, Coca-Cola, in my opinion, the difference between Pepsi and Coca-Cola is Pepsi is a lot more sweet. It is a lot more sweet. And Coke, it's got more flavor. It's got more bite or tang, but Pepsi just overdoes it with the sweetness, and that's where that shines. So, but I honestly, as for my colas go, I think I honestly enjoy the sweet over the bite in pop. So I'm gonna put this down at a D, and I'm gonna actually drop this down. This Pepsi, I'm gonna drop this down to a C tier. But Pepsi, in my opinion, does belong above Coca-Cola. And we're already into Diet Mountain Dew. Nice. Diet Mountain Dew, in my opinion, it has an awesome flavor. This is, I'm gonna upset people with this, but Diet Mountain Dew, it's got a, in my opinion, better flavor than normal Mountain Dew. I don't know what it is about it, but I just prefer Diet Mountain Dew to normal Mountain Dew. And you know what? I'm gonna even say Diet Mountain Dew is my favorite lemon lime soda. That gets S tier instantly. Coke Zero Sugar. Interesting. Coke Zero Sugar. I honestly think that with the way Coke does their stuff, I enjoy Coke Zero Sugar just a little bit more than normal Coke. It's almost like it's isolating the flavor of Coke and taking out the sweetness to it. So if you're drinking Coke, you're drinking it for the flavor. And that's why if you wanted sweetness, you'd go to Pepsi. So it's isolating the flavor of the Coke that much more. So I'm gonna say that Coke Zero Sugar, that's a C tier for me. Ooh, all right. Now we're into a regional soda. Okay. So Moxie, for those of you who haven't heard of it, which is going to be 99% of you, is actually a pop only made in and distributed in the state of Maine. And it's got a weird taste to it. You have to almost like become accustomed to it. And it's a very learned taste, and you have to understand what they're going for in order to have it. It's almost, if I had to describe its flavor, when it just gets into your mouth and you just starting to taste it, it tastes like a root beer start. But there's the aftertaste on Moxie. That is different. That is different. It almost like, it tastes like going down, like peppermint and black licorice going down. So when you start your first sip of Moxie, you're going to be very, very, very delighted, and you're going to think it's a root beer. But when it goes down, it's going to be like a slug crawling down your throat, and it's going to leave a weird aftertaste. But it's a very learned flavor, and honestly, because it has such a mixed up flavor, and it's only regional, it's very hard to get, but it's also, I've come to like the flavor. I'm gonna say it gets a B tier. Moxie, in my opinion, gets a B tier. Okay, ooh, now we're on Crush. For me, Crush, it's the most flavorful of orange sodas. It's got the most orange flavor, like that's direct in your mouth. And they've also make the Grape Crush, and that's awesome as well. But I'm gonna say that for orange sodas, Crush, that gets a B tier. That's really good. That is really good. Ooh, and now we're into Fanta. Fanta, in my opinion, it's got more flavor than Sunkist, but just a little less than Crush. And I mean, it's really weird because I've seen those pictures floating around lately, like what they have Fanta in Europe versus Fanta in the United States, and it looks completely different. It looks like literally what I say Sunkist looks like over in Europe, but it looks like neon orange highlighter here. So, but I like the highlighter, and I'll put it in C tier though, because it's a mid pop to me. Okay, and now we're in Diet Coke. Diet Coke. To me, as you can see what I'm doing on the list and what I've said before, is Diet Pops, in my opinion, taste better than the normal flavors. I don't know, I'm weird like that. So, I really like the flavor of Diet Coke. I really do. It's got a completely different and separate flavor to Coke Zero Sugar and Coca-Cola. It's actually got, it's a more welcoming flavor of Coke to me. And it, in my opinion, tastes way better. So I'm gonna throw Diet Coke at an A tier. That's gonna be our first A tier. Okay, now we're at our first root beer. All right, A&W. A&W, in my opinion, that is a very, very esteemed, renowned root beer, and it's known for it's got a good root beer flavor, in my opinion. A&W, it's a good in between. It's a good in between root beer. I really like going to their restaurants and getting a root beer float. That's what A&W is used for, is a root beer float. And it's unbeatable in that category. But I'll give A&W an A tier. It deserves it. Oh, and now we're into our second regional. All right. So this is Vernors, for those of you who don't know. Vernors is a ginger ale flavor only made and distributed in Michigan. And it's so popular in Michigan that people who are sick, they actually say, "Oh, just drink some Vernors. Drink some Vernors. It'll help cure you." It is actually so renowned and widely used in Michigan that it's even become a medicine. People in Michigan are addicted to this stuff. And it honestly tastes really good. It tastes really good. It's my favorite ginger ale. It is. And this leprechaun, Irish guy or whatever he is, he tastes good, and he even cures you, because this is doctor renowned level stuff right here. That this guy, he cures your illness, and I don't know of a single other pop that is medicinal. So I'm gonna give Werner's, that gets an A tier for me. It's awesome. Okay, now we have Barks. Barks root beer. Okay, Barks was my favorite root beer, and I said that it was my favorite root beer because of the flavor and the whole Barks has bite thing. It is the only root beer that is sold like between A&W and other root beers around that has caffeine in it. And to me, honestly, when I drink root beer, I don't want the caffeine. I don't want it. And plus, as of late, I've enjoyed the just creamy finish that other root beers have as opposed to Barks. So it's actually fallen down on the list. To me, Barks, that's gonna be our first E tier. I think it's trying to be more of a cola, like a different tasting cola than a root beer, because there's certain qualities you gotta meet to be a root beer, and Barks, it's just not following along. It's trying to be different. Ooh, now we have Mug. All right, nice. I'm a mug-blooded American. I've got nothing flowing through my veins but root beer, and there's no root beer better than a Mug root beer. I'm trying to get some action in the back of the Mug bug. That's what I want, and you can't go any better than Mug root beer. The smooth flavor that it gets, there's no getting any better than it's the best root beer, hands down. Okay, Mellow Yellow. Interesting. As far as the lime pops go, it's the first thing that comes to mind is like it's all right. It's not great, but it's all right. Like, it's in some cases I would actually almost rather just drink lemonade than Mellow Yellow. At least I wouldn't be thrown off by it calling itself a pop. And because of that, Mellow Yellow, that gets our first F tier. It's like, why am I even putting the effort out to drink this? And that's what makes me say Mellow Yellow is F tier. It's just, it can't hold itself up, even on its own two crutchy legs that it's got here. It's just, it can't hold itself up. Ooh, okay, A&W cream soda. Okay, this one is in here for every cream soda ever made, ever. I've never been a fan of cream soda. It tastes, to me, cream soda tastes like if you mixed milk into carbonated water. It's not good. It's not good. There's no sense in drinking it, and I don't see why anybody would want to. It's the last pop on the shelf that is still just left over for weeks after the whole other case of the variety pack is gone. And I'm only drinking it because my mom says that I have to drink it in order to get anything else. And that is why any cream soda ever made ever gets an F tier. Okay, and now we're at Squirt. Okay, this pop is interesting. This pop is interesting in that, like, boom, Ruby Red Squirt, that is awesome. Normal Squirt, that is awesome. And it's the only pop on this entire list and that I've ever drank that actually makes me feel refreshed when I'm drinking it. Like, it's the only pop on here that when I drink it, I feel hydrated. And that, I don't know how they do it, what kind of GMOs or chemicals they pour into this or don't pour into this to make it actually hydrate you or feel like it's hydrating you, but it's the only one that does that. And so I can do nothing but give Squirt an A tier. It's the only one that actually, it tastes amazing, and has a great secondary flavor, which is, you know, ruby red, and it's, you know, hydrating. Ooh, okay, RC Cola. Now, RC Cola is the perfect mix between the flavors of Coke and Pepsi. But it's also got this it's got the flavor of Coke, but it's also got the sweetness of Pepsi. It's a good in between. It's what a neutral kind of guy is. You don't want to be on either side of the line. You just want to be in between and get the day done. And for me, that's kind of where I like to be with my colas. So I think as far as RC goes, it is my favorite cola flavor that exists, because it's, especially the zero sugar one, because if I don't like to have to choose between do I have to have a Coke or do I have to have a Pepsi? Oh no. It's like if you've got an RC, I'm picking that. It just makes it easy. I don't want to have to think about what I'm going to have to drink every 2 seconds. So I'm going to say RC. That gets us S tier. It's my favorite brand of cola. Ooh, now normal Mountain Dew. Normal Mountain Dew is good. Like, I can see what it does and it tries, and I think it's the most popular soda in the United States. And it's, I mean, there's even problems with it in like the Appalachian parts of the United States, where they drink it so freaking much, like it's their water, that they have problems with their mouths called Mountain Dew mouth, and they have to like get whole sets of dentures put in and out because they drink so much of this stuff. It's a problem, but it's all right to me. Like I said already, I prefer the Diet Mountain Dew. So I'm gonna put normal Mountain Dew. I can't give it a C tier because it's not average. It gets a B tier. As we can all see, that I like pop a lot, and that makes testament to why I say that I'm justified in making this list, because the pops are actually trending upward. There's hardly any pops that I dislike. Okay, now Diet Pepsi. All right, now Diet Pepsi, and like just the same as Coke, has a better flavor than normal Coke and normal Pepsi. So I'm gonna give Diet Pepsi, I'm gonna give it an A tier, just like Coke, Diet Coke, but I'm gonna sit it above the Coke in this tier. It's not like that lesson holds true for all these, like Moxie is better than Crush or anything like that, but just giving it that spacing just because it deserves it. Ooh, okay, now another regional. We've got Faygo. Faygo is another brand of pop that it comes from Michigan, just like Vernors. And I really, really, really like Faygo pops. It almost doesn't get better. And Faygo does a great job mixing up the flavors on their own, and they even, I think, came up with their own flavor, which is absolutely unmatched by almost any soda, and that's Faygo Rock and Rye. And Rock and Rye is, I don't know, I've never tasted any pop like it, but they got it right with that one. They got it right. And because of that, Faygo instantly jumps to S tier. Faygo is an awesome pop brand. They know what they're doing. Plus, it's cheap too. I mean, you can get a large bottle of Faygo for like $1. It's cheap and it's awesome. I don't know. Canada Dry, another ginger ale. Okay, because I've already given Vernors the credit that it deserves, so well deserves, going to Canada Dry, like it's all right. I've never heard when anyone's sick say, hey, can someone get me a Canada Dry? I'm sick, I need some help. And it just tastes worse than Vernors, in my opinion. So I'm gonna give Canada Dry, honestly, it gets an E tier for me. Because growing up, I also just didn't even really like ginger ale. But Vernors, that stuff, that was good when I was little. So Canada Dry gets an E tier. Sprite Zero. Sprite, honestly, another Coke product. It It's my least favorite lemon lime pop that you can get. It's not very good. And I don't know, it's just, I drink it, but it just tastes just like what I said with the Sunkist. It just tastes like someone squeezed a lemon and a lime into some water, and that's what they decided to call a pop, was Sprite. So I'm gonna give Sprite a D tier. Ooh, Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is the best pop on the planet. There is nothing better than Dr. Pepper. You cannot get better than the flavor, the 23 or 28, whatever herbs and spices or flavors that Dr. Pepper has. There is nothing better than Dr. Pepper. It is my favorite pop, and you can't. If the Lord came down right now and told me that, hey, Marshall, we've got to exchange your blood for some other fluid, what do you want it to be? Before he's even done finishing the sentence, I'm telling him Dr. Pepper. That's how much I love Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper cherry is also insane. It's like you can't get any better. I got a Dr. Pepper can right here. Crack it open right now. So yeah, everybody, that's my tier list on pop flavor. Looking back over this, I think I would change one thing. Because Dr. Pepper is my favorite, I'm gonna shove everything else down. I'm gonna shove everything else down lower. Why are you drinking Canada Dry? Why are you even touching, and relative to Mug, why are you even touching Bark at all? Why are you even thinking of touching it? These all go to E tier. These all go to D tier. Mountain Dew, all that. Moxie. There you go. Yep. Mug, it gets the respect it deserves. It's an S tier. Dr. Pepper and Mug are the only S tier pops on the planet. You should be drinking nothing but Dr. Pepper and Mug. And I feel bad for the people in my area, because they're not going to get to drink any of these. They just aren't. Because I'm buying them all. They can't drink them. This is the definitive list for pop flavors on the planet. There's no other way. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed me telling you what an actually good tasting pop is. And if you did enjoy, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you next time. See ya.